Congress. Joining me right now is Georgia Senator David Perdue. Good morning, Senator. Thanks for being here. First off, how are you feeling in terms of COVID? Have you had any symptoms? Are you now negative?
My wife and I are great. Thanks for asking. We tested negative again. That's 3 negative tests in the last few days. So we continue to follow the protocol and doctor's advice and being very careful here.
Senator, we have been talking this morning about what will take place on Wednesday in the joint session of Congress, where a number of your colleagues will object to the results of the presidential election. Will you object?
You know, when I first saw the magnitude of the irregularities back in early December, about our November race, I called for the resignation of our Secretary of State. I repeatedly called for a special session of the General Assembly to investigate. None of that happened, and so I started calling out for the only thing left for the president is for us to object, and I agreed that I would do that. The technical problem is that I won't be certified until this election is certified, some week to 10 days after the election when we win on Tuesday. But I'm encouraging my colleagues to object. This is something that the American people demand right now. You heard in the last section that there are huge irregularities in Georgia. They need to be investigated, and they need to be corrected, in my opinion.
All right. So you are committing to object, despite the fact that technically you will not be a sitting senator until we have clarification on the results of Tuesday. I want to ask you about the potential for voter fraud in Georgia. Is Georgia prepared? What have you done? What have the Republicans done to ensure that you have a safe and secure election on Tuesday? We know that Stacey Abrams has been bragging on Twitter that she has registered 3 million Georgians to vote early.
Well, there are 3 million people who have voted already. That's short of where we were in November. But what we've done is we called the General Assembly to try to get this resolved. That hasn't happened yet. So what we've done is we've gone to court. We had a couple of cases thrown out because they said you got to go back to the legislature. But in addition to that, we've doubled the number of poll workers. We've got cameras and people watching all the drop boxes. We're doing everything we can on the absentee ballots and on Election Day counting to make sure that what happened in November didn't happen. But Maria, the big issue here is there are still Republicans that are upset and mad about what happened in November, as I am. Look, I don't think I should be in this runoff if everything had happened the way it should have in November. But the only recourse we have is to get out and fight and rise up and vote on January the 5th, this coming Tuesday. So that's the only recourse we have now.
Your opponent, Jon Ossoff, has been out tweeting about following the results, and he put out this tweet, and I want to get your comment about it. Jon Ossoff tweeted out that for people to follow Xinhua News, this is the Chinese state media, especially during the 18th Party Congress, follow Xinhua Chinese state media. What is he saying here?
Well, this evolving scandal with Jon Ossoff is becoming more and more clear that the Chinese Communist Party, as you called out, has identified young, ambitious young people in America to try to influence. You know, you see the Eric Swalwell crisis right now. You see the Hunter Biden scandal. And now we see the evolving Jon Ossoff problem that he has with China. He was paid by them for 2 years. He's been encouraging people to follow the Chinese propaganda. That's what Xinhua does, and that's what PCCW does. And he participated in that for 2 years. He hid it from the people of Georgia during his primary, got caught, lied about it, finally disclosed it, and then lied about it again. So this is a young man that has not come clean about China. He was asked this week on Fox News what he thought about it, and he accused the reporter of being a serious journalist and shouldn't ask the question. He's never answered the question about his relationship with the CCP, Maria.
Do you believe we will see a winner on Tuesday night? What if it is contested once again? Here we are on January 3rd, still talking about November 3rd. What do you expect Tuesday?
I expect a big win. We're going to get our vote out on Tuesday. We know this is the last line of defense. We know that Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock will be nothing but a rubber stamp for Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and this radical socialist agenda. They've said as much. They have not addressed the issues, and the only thing they really care about is giving Chuck Schumer 2 more votes in the United States Senate. That'll give them total control, and it will change the face of America. That's the issue here. It will fix the election problems, but we've got to hold the line in this election Tuesday, and it's in our hands. It's in Republican conservative hands, Maria. If we get out and vote and fight for America, we can win Georgia and save America. That's what's at stake Tuesday.
All right, Senator, we'll be watching, of course. Thanks very much for being here. Senator David Perdue, we will see you soon.